doing, everybody, and welcome to Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage. It is Monday. It is a fantastic Monday, May 13th, right? We're to the 13th of May already. Baseball season is in full steam ahead right now, right? Full steam ahead. That's about all that's going on right now. I mean, we got NBA playoffs, a little bit of that. The Green Bay Blizzard, they got a win over the weekend. Want to be looking at that a little bit today. And also, I mean, we got to be talking about the Brewers. A big weekend series there against the St. Louis Cardinals. Always great. Always great when the Brewers can beat up on the Redbirds a little bit. And they beat up a little bit over the weekend there. So we got to be looking at the Brewers in this episode today. So right away, I want to look at that Brewers series. I want to talk about it. We talked about the game on Friday. We talked about that game on Thursday there. So looking at the Friday matchup then. The Brewers, I mean, first two games of the series, 7-1 in that Thursday game. Next night out, 11-2. The Brewers, dominant fashion, took care of the Cardinals in this one, and they used looks like a big fifth inning and a big seventh inning in this one. 9 runs in the fifth and seventh innings in this one, 2 in the fourth. But, I mean, those were the two separation innings right there. 11-2 is the final. Brewers out-hit the Cardinals in that game, 12-5 in that ball game. And, I mean, the Brewers, they backed up a dominant, not dominant, but a great start out of Robert Gasser in that one. You know, the over-under and looking at everybody talking about Gasser heading into that first major league start was, we're going to expect this guy to go 4 innings. That was the big thing. 4 innings is what he had been known to be at in AAA, so we're expecting 4 innings out of this guy. He went above and beyond in this game here for the Brewers. 6 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts in this one, no runs, no walks, no home runs. I mean, all the way around. A great first outing for Robert Gasser. You couldn't ask for a better one. I mean, you could have asked for a no-hit. 9 innings, right? No, but for a guy coming off injury, hasn't had a lot of time at AAA this year yet to get himself ready, kind of just thrown into a start there at the big league level, just getting his feet wet for this year at AAA, and to come in and give you 6 innings of 2-hit baseball, that's solid. That's solid. I mean, yes, you could point towards the Cardinals' batting, or their lineup isn't hitting the best right now, and there's nothing really going right for the Redbirds. Yeah, 100%. But the stuff Robert Gasser showed in his first outing with everything, with the breaking ball, with his fastball, it's not like it's, overpowering fastball, but the placement, his ability to hit locations in this game. I thought that was the big thing when I was watching, was the locations. This guy was dealing and he was hitting his spots. That's something you worry about there with rookies coming in, with not having a dominant fastball or anything like that. How are they going to, is the location going to be fine? Are they going to be able to hit their spots? Are they going to miss a couple times here and there? You're going to miss, right? You're going to miss a couple times here and there. But he did a very good job at commanding this game, not letting the pressure get too big and just doing what he does. And it was great stuff. Great stuff out of Gasser. And then actually we saw Herget there at the end. Now I believe Herget, with the addition of White, we'll get into those transactions here in a little bit. But Herget now is currently back down with the minor league system, but 3 innings in this one, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and a home run given up there for Herget. So, not a great debut, but 3 innings, 2 earned runs, not a bad day. Not a bad day by any means possible there. So Brewers, dominant stuff there in the pitching department. Looking over on the hitting side of it, we saw a big game out of Yelich in this one, but Trage led it off there, 1 for 4, RBI in this one with the runs scored. And then we saw William Contreras there, 1 for 3 in that game with 3 runs scored there, 2 walks in total. Yelich, he was hot in this series, 2 for 4 in this one, 2 runs scored, an RBI for him. And then we saw Adames 3 for 4, Hoskins 2 for 3 in this game, Frelick 1 for 4, 2 for 3 out of Jake Bauers in this game here. So good stuff hitting wise for the Brewers. 12 hits in total, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. The strikeout numbers for the Brewers are still a little high. I'm not going to say that they're not striking out at a high clip. They are striking out at a decently high clip, but all in all, you can't complain with the success, right? The success of them in this game. Strikeouts right now, they are ranked, I believe, 24th in the bigs, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, now they're down to 25th. I just updated my screen here of the hitting stats, batting stats for the year, and they're at 25th in the league in strikeouts. So not great. Not great stuff there, but all in all, you look at the rest of the hitting categories for the Brewers right now, sitting up near the top 10. They are top 10 in everything except for strikeouts. And I guess you could say caught stealings. They are 18th in caught stealing right now. Everything else, I mean, they are top 10 in at the moment, and the offense is playing just fine. It's just looking at the defense a little bit there. But, I mean, you look at the lineup in this one, like I said, dominant fashion, they get the win 11-2 on Friday. That led into the big Saturday matchup there, trying to win this series there on Saturday, and it took a little bit of comeback. It was a comeback in this one. Brewers scored 4 runs between the 6th and 7th innings to take the lead in this one and ultimately win it there late. The bullpen shut the door on the Cardinals in that one. Looking at the lineups, I mean, pitching-wise, Brewers, Freddie Peralta, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Not a dominant outing, but a good outing, right? Solid outing. We've always, everybody, Freddie Peralta is the ace of the staff now, but you got to remember, Freddie Peralta is not your everyday ace like you would imagine a Corbin Burns, right? He is a number 2, number 3 ace in your rotation. Does he have the stuff to be good? Yeah, 100%. He's just working through some of those kinks yet here. And, I mean, you want to believe that he could develop into that shutdown guy, but Freddie Peralta, to me, is that guy who's going to give you a solid outing, but he's going to have that one inning where he's going to give up some runs, right? He's going to have one inning per outing where he's going to give up a couple of runs here and there. And that's what he did in this one. I mean, look at the 5th, 2 runs in the 5th, 1 in the 6th there for the Cardinals. That's kind of what we saw in this one. So Freddie, though, I mean, a good outing out of Freddie there on Saturday. Hoby Milner for an inning then, 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Brian Hudson for an inning, 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. Brian Hudson has been that guy in the bullpen for the Brewers this year. Nothing but good for the Brewers. He's got a .81 ERA after Saturday's matchup. You can't beat that. You can't beat that there. And then we saw Trevor Megill lock down another save. He's got 4 of them on the year now. And in this one, 1 inning, 2 hits. And, I mean, got out of his own jam. Got out of his own jam in this one. Dropped that ERA down to 0.93 on the season so far. So good stuff there out of Trevor Megill. Looking at the lineup for the Brewers in this one, spread apart. It was pretty spread apart in this game here. We saw Dunn get a hit. We saw Ortiz get a hit at the bottom of the order there. And then at the top of the order, we saw Contreras go 1 for 2. Adames, 1 for 4 in this game here. Bowers, 1 for 2. Hoskins, 1 for 3. He also had 3 RBIs, talking about that big home run late. I mean, just an all-around, you'd like to say an all-around effort and doing what you got to do to win a ball game, right? I mean, that's what you got to do in a game like this. 5 walks in total there and 9 strikeouts. So a little bit less on the strikeouts there, but, I mean, those 5 walks paid dividends for the Brewers down the stretch there. And, like I said, 5 runs in total on the game there. So good stuff there. Coming out of the second game of that series, 5-3 win for the Brewers. That set up the chance for the sweep on Sunday, yesterday there. 4-3 was the final. The Cardinals got the win in that one. The Brewers just didn't have that late inning magic that they needed in this one. It was a decent, solid. I mean, the way Miles Michaelis started, it took him like 40-some pitches, 45 pitches to get out of that first inning. I did not expect him to go long in this game here. I was expecting 3 innings, maybe, out of Michaelis, and he pitched a pretty good game for the Cardinals there. I'm not going to lie. You hate to give props to anybody, but he went 6 innings. After that atrocious start to the game, after his bench coach gets tossed and after his manager gets tossed, all on the same review that they got right. I mean, well, not that the umps got right to start, but in review, that was overturned and win in their favor. They got tossed. Kind of interesting there. But I guess when you get sick of having to go to replay multiple times to start a game on things that you think are clear-cut, I guess you get a little upset. And it's been, it's something when you think about the Cardinals and where they truthfully believe that they should be at right now, and to see kind of where they are, it, fuels you, right? You get a little, that pent-up anger inside of you. This is just Ollie Marmol not knowing what to do anymore, and he's just going to freak. And this is what he did in this game here. Had a little bit of a meltdown out there, and well, lost his cool, got tossed out of the game, and we just move on, right? We move on with life. That's just what's got to happen. So, I mean, did he have the right to get up? I mean, I would, I thought about it. It's like I would get upset if I'm constantly having, you might get the replays right every time, right? But it gets kind of annoying when I have to go to replay. I have to go to replay multiple times on plays that when they went and looked at it, it's like, that's pretty clear cut. Like, it didn't take long for the reviews. So I guess that's kind of the thought I had coming out of it was, yeah, it would get kind of annoying after a while, just kind of having to deal with constant review after review, and your season's already going like crap, and then you got to deal with this crap on top of that. I mean, you look at what happened with Pat Murphy and the Brewers. I mean, some of the calls didn't go the Brewers' way, but it's like that for multiple days, and that's why, I mean, he finally erupted, right? He was finally going to have that blow-up portion where he's like, I'm done with these guys screwing me over. It's the same thing in these ones. I mean, if one of those replays didn't go right, and then all of a sudden they lose their challenge, now later in the game here, you got to deal with that same crap where it's like, well, we know he was safe by 5 feet, but you called him out. Now we can't go to review. We can ask you guys to go do a crew chief review, right? But they don't have to do that either. So it's you see kind of where Ali Marmol got upset, and, then his bench coach gets to us. So then he was, that just had to fuel the fire. But you get it. I mean, you get it. You're pretty much the bottom of the barrel right now. You got a guy, Paul Goldschmidt, who isn't, he's hitting 197 on the year right now. I think he actually brought his average up there after a 2-for-5 day against the Brewers on Sunday. But outside of that, he's been struggling this year. You look at Arenado, he hasn't been able to really get it going yet. You look at the rest of the team, air after air after air. They can't make up for it. You just lose your cool at some point. And that's what happened here. That's what happened in this one, was a little bit of a loss to cool there. So, you look at that game as a whole, like I said, surprised with the way that Miles Mikolas was able to bounce back in this one after that 3-run first by the Brewers, not able to find the strike zone. That added to the frustration there, like I was just talking about with Ali Marmol there. That added to the frustration with the, balls and strikes called there. Some things that they thought should have been called weren't called, and, well, we saw him get a little bit heated there. So you look at the Brewers lineup in this one. Turang 1-for-4, 2-for-4 from Contreras. Yelich stayed hot, 2-for-3 in this one. And then we saw Adames and Hoskins both go 0-for in this game here, along with Joey Ortiz. Sanchez had a good game, 2-for-4 in this game. Blake Perkins 0-for-3, Frelick 0-for-1, and then we saw Jackson Churro go 0-for-2 in this game here. So Brewers lineup, second 2 games of the series, little less hitting the baseball, but, hanging around, right? Doing what you got to do. The game's got a little bit tougher, right? Kyle Gibson pitched a pretty good game. And then, like I said, Miles Mikolas bounced back in this game for the Cardinals. After a struggling first, he was able to bounce back and, pitch his way into the 6th inning, which was honestly impressive. Honestly impressive there by Miles Mikolas. But all in all, Brewers lineup, 7 hits in this one, 3 walks, and they also had 8 strikeouts in this game here. So not great stuff around the board there, but you're going to have games like that. You're going to have games like that. Bryce Wilson, definitely a start to forget about here. 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout, and a home run given up there. The walks got to Wilson in this one. He just lost to control early in this one, was able to battle out of it there in the first, and then he lost it again, and, led to a run. Led to a run for the Cardinals, something that you aren't used to with Bryce Wilson, but you're going to have spotty starts like that. So he's going to bounce back after an outing like this. Just got to, pack it up, move on here. Looking at the bullpen in this one, Jared Koenig, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. Solid day on Jared Koenig. Not a bad day. 2 innings there, 1 earned run. Not bad. Elvis Paguero, same thing for him. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run for him there and a strikeout. He took the loss in this game here. Didn't pitch terrible. Didn't pitch terrible by any means. Just couldn't work himself out of trouble there. Hobie Milner for an inning and a strikeout. Hobie's got that ERA down to 1.86. He's pitching pretty well in that bullpen for the Brewers. And Vieira for an inning there, 1 hit and 2 walks, but he got himself out of trouble there. Gave the Brewers a shot, right? That's what you look at these back end of the bullpen guys. I don't know if I'd count Vieira as much as a back end of the bullpen kind of guy. But the Brewers, these two guys came in late in this game, gave the Brewers a shot. I mean, Hobie Milner and Vieira both did their jobs to give the Brewers a shot in this game, and they could not pull it out late in this one. Brewers in this one, 5 left on base, 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Adames and Trage did ground into double plays in this game. So, all in all, you look at the weekend series for the Brewers, not much you can complain about. Not much to complain about. 3 out of 4 from the Redbirds. They, I believe, made history, 8 consecutive wins against the Cardinals. Haven't done that in a long time. That was history. So that was the longest streak. Impressive stuff there out of the Brewers. Not something we're used to, right? The Redbirds always seem to have the Brewers number. Matt Carpenter always seems to have the Brewers number. Paul Goldschmidt always seems to have the Brewers number. And, I mean, Brewers did a very good job in this series of slowing down the Cardinals and not really giving them a shot in any of these games here except for this game on Sunday. So good series out of the Brewers all in all. A bounce-back series now. After a series, I mean, you lost the last game of that series. Maybe we see him come back with a sweep here against the Pirates. We won't have to see Paul Skeens. That was, I mean, about as good of a performance you can see out of a guy in Paul Skeens there. In his Major League debut there for the Pirates, I thought he went 4 innings there for him. I was just going to double check in on that one. Just double check, see if I had it right. I saw 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts for Skeens there. Not a bad day in his debut, right? 4 innings, not, he's not giving you Robert Gasser kind of stuff, right? I mean, come on. We're talking about this guy being the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. Well, not number 1 prospect in all of baseball. One of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball there. We got to be talking about Robert Gasser then. This guy goes 6 innings in his debut. Come on. Step it up a little bit there over in Pittsburgh. Come on. But no, I mean, a good outing out of Skeens there. You can't knock. The stuff was working. He had some dominant stuff. Hit 102 with the fastball. I saw that in his first, I believe it was in that first at bat that he ramped it up to 102. So, I mean, all in all, good stuff there out of Skeens in his first outing. But the Brewers, I do not believe they will see him in this in this series against the Pirates. He pitched on Saturday there, so the Brewers will miss him there. But tonight here, they're going to have a 6:40 start with that game against the Pirates, and they're going to have to face a guy in Mitch Keller. And this guy is, I mean, paid to be the ace of the staff for the Pirates there. He's supposed to be that number 1 guy for him. Has struggled a little bit this year, 3-3 with that 4.41 ERA. Still got those 44 strikeouts, though. I mean, 49 innings pitched, 44 strikeouts, nothing bad out of what we've seen out of Mitch Keller there. So nothing bad out of Mitch Keller so far there. I mean, he's been pitching very well for the Pirates over the years here, and now, I mean, got that decent-sized contract with him to come back and basically be the ace of that staff. So Brewers will see him in game 1 of this series here. He'll face off with Colin Ray. Colin Ray has pitched very well for the Brewers this year. 3-0, 3.29 ERA. He's doing what he's got to do, right? The ERA isn't fantastic, but it's solid. That's the ERA that you want out of a guy in Colin Ray. So good stuff there. And, I mean, looking at the kind of the matchups in this game, what the Brewers have done against Keller there. Adames, he's hitting 300 against them. 1 home run, 20 at-bats. 333 out of Bowers there. Contreras is hitting 300 against him with 2 bombs. And then we look down the lineup here. Frelick's hitting 333. Hoskins, 625 against him there in 8 at-bats. And then we look down there at Yelich, 12 at-bats. He's hitting 333. You cannot knock what we're seeing out of the Brewers against Keller. They've done good stuff against him in the past there. The Pirates against Colin Ray, I mean, not a terrible lot of success there. Joey Bart, he's hitting 500 in 2 at-bats there. Gonzalez, 3 at-bats, he's got a home run. He's hitting 667 there. And then Brian Reynolds in 6 at-bats, he's hitting 333. We also see Williams there in 2 at-bats. He's hitting 500 against him. So Pirates have seen Ray a little bit. Brewers have seen Keller. This is one of them old matchups like we're used to. We're getting so many young guns in this in the NL Central right now and everywhere else that it's like you look at the matchups and like, well, we haven't faced this guy ever. We haven't seen this guy yet. We're getting a lot of debuts and everything like that. So it's going to be something to see here. A lot of familiarity between these two teams, between these two matchups. So hopefully a good game coming up tonight for the Brewers. That'll be on Bally Sports Wisconsin. Otherwise, if you're on the road, wherever you are, you're outside on the deck, maybe grilling, you got to be checking it out on the Brewers radio network there, WTMJ 620. But with that, before we move on here, I want to mention a few of the sponsors of the show. First, Game Day Supply in Alaska. Do you have a sports club or team? Are you looking for some sweet custom uniforms or apparel? Check out the awesome crew at Game Day Supply in Alaska to help your team get the sweetest gear. Find them on Facebook at Game Day Supply or online at GameDaySupply.net. Also, your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty. Call Peggy, Sue, or Anna to find your dream home or if you're looking to sell. Find them on Facebook at your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty, or stop in and see them at their location in Marshfield. Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. If you've been injured recently, whether at work, whether it was on the basketball court, the baseball field, the softball field, whatever it is, you're out there, you're doing some field work right now. I know middle of the state of Wisconsin, I don't know where you guys are, but middle of the state of Wisconsin right now, a lot of field work happening. Maybe you hurt something out there and you need some physical therapy. You want to get back to the fields, stop in there in Greenwood and see Chad. He'll get you right. He'll get you back to work, back out in the fields, back out in the court, whatever it is. He'll get you back there. Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. Marshfield Motor Speedway is located just 3 miles outside of Marshfield on County Road H. You got to get down there this summer. Tons of family fun. Find the schedule there on Facebook, online. Just search Marshfield Motor Speedways. You can find the schedule. Otherwise, it's on my Facebook page. Go to Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. You'll find the schedule there. You got to get down to the track. Tons of family fun for all ages. Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. It's all you can ask for in a great summer night or day and night. I mean, it goes all day there. So great stuff there at Marshfield Motor Speedway. Sports Scene, sports cards and memorabilia located in the Marshfield Mall in Marshfield, Wisconsin. You got to get down there and see Al. He has everything you need for your hobby enthusiast. Sports cards, memorabilia, jerseys, model stock cars. He's got it all. Sports Scene in Marshfield, Wisconsin. And also Pittsville Farm and Home Center. At the store, they serve you anything from hydraulic hoses to red roses. Stop in and see the awesome crew at Pittsville Farm and Home Center in Pittsville, Wisconsin. But with that, I want to stay with the Brewers here. I want to look at the transactions as of late. I want to look at the stats right now and see what we're seeing right now in hitting-wise for the Brewers and pitching, how we're doing all the way around there. So looking at some of the transactions made as of late for the Brewers here, we did see Taylor Clark. We acquired Taylor Clark in this last offseason there. He was originally with the Orioles there. Brewers got him there. Had him in spring training. We're trying to stretch him out to become a starter there. I mean, got injured. He's been out for a little bit, but you listen to Chris Hook, and Chris Hook said he came out early and was really easy to work with there. He said, we started to make some pitch usage suggestions, and he was open to that. This is a pitchability guy. He commands the baseball, and the big thing is that he's able to throw and use his arm throughout the whole process there. So that's the words of Chris Hook there. I mean, hopefully, you can look at this one of two ways. Do the Brewers need him in the bullpen or they need him as a starter? Because he's starting that rehab assignment down there at AAA Nashville. It's just going to depend. Are they going to ramp him up down there at AAA to be a starter at the big league level? Or are we going to just get him ready to be a bullpen, a long relief kind of guy in the bullpen there? The way that the Brewers pitching rotation is going right now, it would not surprise me if they try to ramp him up. Try at least in extended periods for a little bit, see where he's at, and then go from there. That's kind of where I would be leaning right now if I was the Brewers, looking that they do need starters. Right now, I mean, you got Freddie, you got Colin Ray, those are your two. And then right now we got Robert Gasser. He pitched well in his first, like I said, very good in his first outing there. And then Bryce Wilson. And then you have Tobias Myers still floating around. Does Tobias keep a job? Does Tobias keep the spot up at the big league level if you do have Taylor Clark coming back and he pitches well on his way back? It's going to make you kind of think about it there for a second. Maybe there's spots where they need a 6-man rotation, right? And maybe they add him into that spot. It's going to be interesting there to see where they kind of flow with this thing moving forward. So we see Taylor Clark starting to get ready for a AAA assignment there to ramp himself up. Looking at some of the other ones, like I said earlier, Kevin Herget was optioned back to AAA. We did sign Mitch White. He was traded for there from the Giants. He's been a little bit everywhere to start the year. He's 29 years old. I mean, he's had, like it says, a whirlwind couple of weeks here. Opened the season with the Blue Jays, designated for assignment on April 16th. Toronto traded him to San Francisco on the 20th. The Giants DFA'd him on May 5th, so then the Brewers swooped in and grabbed him up there. I mean, so far this year, 7.63 ERA there in 7 appearances between Toronto and San Francisco, having 13 runs in 15 and a third inning there. He allowed 7 runs on 8 hits in 5 and a third innings across 3 appearances with the Giants. You look at what he had to say. He said it was one of those things. White said they needed guys to cover innings, and I was the guy on a certain day, and unfortunately it didn't go great. So I got bounced, but no hard feelings. That's just the game. That's how it goes. This was a guy who was a top prospect at one point, has very good stuff. I mean, hopefully the Brewers can throw him in the lab and get him going, right? Because he's got good stuff. He's got swing and miss ability. It's just getting him right and getting him into games and, well, working through the trouble, right? Working through the trouble and seeing if he has anything there. So we'll see. This is another Brewer project, right? We love to call them Brewer projects. This is another Brewer project, and we're going to see how it goes here. So good stuff there. Mitch White added to the Brewers roster. Looking at the 10 to the 15-day IL right now, like I said, Taylor Clark, he's expected back in late May or June right now. He's going to have that stint there with Nashville. DL Hall still to be decided right now. He was lined up to face hitters on May 14th, trying to build back up to return this season yet. Who knows if it will be in a starter role, if it will be in the bullpen. But as of right now, we know that he's most likely going to be on the big league roster, just a matter of where he ends up. So he's been slowly working his way back up, but we'll see what it happens there. I mean, look at what he had to say there. He said, I'm finally starting to get some zip back behind the ball. Maybe he's had this injury for a little bit this year. We did see the velocity go down a little bit during the season. Last year, looking at him at the Orioles, he had a little bit more velocity. Maybe the velocity comes back now with this little, IL stint here. Maybe he's had problems for a little while here. Maybe he comes back and gives us something good. So that's the update on DL Hall. Joey Wiemer's a late May kind of guy. It looks like it was the best possible news that came out of the MRI. It was a strained populus muscle there. I believe I said that right. I'm not sure. I might have butchered it there. Basically, it's a stabilizing muscle within the knee right now. So that's what went wrong on him. It's about 2 to 3 week recovery, so expected late May. Who knows where he's going to end up? Because we also have the return of another guy in June there, and that is Garrett Mitchell. I believe he's expected back in early June. Yeah, Garrett Mitchell with that fractured left index finger is on the 60-day IL, but he is expected back on early June there. Listen to Mitchell, and Mitchell said that he was aiming to be back in that 6-week mark, which was that first half of May, but then Matt Arnold came out and he said that he wouldn't be back until June 1st. So now we're kind of aiming for he's eligible to come off of the IL on June 1st. So that's consistent with the timeline there that he will be back probably on the 1st of June if he does not. He'll probably wherever. I don't even know. I would have to look quick where the Brewers are at during that June 1st series there, where they would be. They're going to be at home. They'll be at home there. They'll be taking on the White Sox. So possibly see Garrett Mitchell back there for that White Sox series. Who knows where he slots in right at this point? Blake Perkins has been struggling as of late here. Maybe he slots into that role out there where we've seen Blake Perkins in center for most of the time. Maybe we see a little bit of Garrett Mitchell out there coming back if Blake Perkins doesn't pick it up there. Same with Sal. It could be a revolving door to see who is going to get hot and who is going to be the mainstay out there in the outfield right now. Outside of that, Devin Williams, he's expected. Looks like around the All-Star break, nothing crazy happening on that end. JB Buckus, that one, right now he's got right shoulder inflammation. Looks like it occurred where his tricep connects to his shoulder region. So that's why they thought it was a lat injury. And, so not sure yet on the return. Jacob Junis is in June right now. He's had a lot of issues coming back. He had the right shoulder injury, and then he had the head injury. So he's slowly working his way back, but looking like he's going to be eligible for reinstatement at about June 2nd. June 2nd at the earliest is when he will be ready to go. Wade Miley, like we know, he's out for the year, and Brandon Woodruff. They give you that late 2024 thing, but I'm really expecting. It looks like his next pitching assignment will be in February. They're going to talk about him ramping up a program in February, so don't expect Brandon Woodruff. I know we hope Brandon Woodruff will be back sooner than that, but don't expect him back before that there. So good stuff there coming out of the Brewers. They're going to have that game coming up tonight against the Pirates there. A 6:40 start for that one there. But with that, I want to talk quick. I want to get into the Green Bay Blizzard before we wrap it up here. I want to get into the Green Bay Blizzard. They had a win over the weekend here. They beat the Tulsa Oilers there in Green Bay. A big win, 42-22 was the final in that one. Just wanted to look over at the box here, see what was going on. I mean, Green Bay played a fantastic game in this one. Got to watch a little bit in this one here. Looking at all across the board here, stat-wise for the teams. I mean, Green Bay got it done in a couple of facets in this one. Mainly, though, you got to look at their offensive numbers in this one. They had 3 touchdowns in this game here through the air. So that's good stuff. Also, 3 touchdowns on the ground in this game here. Looking at on the receiving side of it, they were 12 for 20, 161 total yards through the air in this game here. Looking at the rushing side, 86 yards on the ground there, about 2.7 on average there per rush, 8.1 average there through the pass. So solid stuff there all the way around in this game. Just wanted to get to the box score in this one. For Green Bay, like I said, Max Miller in this game here, 12 for 20, 161 yards, 3 touchdowns. Good stuff there out of the quarterback. And then looking at the run game for him. Excuse me there. We saw a little bit of everything in this one. A couple of guys doing a lot of things here. Jalen Cagle in this one, he had 9 attempts for 36 yards, 1 touchdown. Max Meller on the ground there, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns for him there, so good stuff. And then we saw El Burgess go for 25 yards there on 8 attempts in this game here. Through the air, I mean, we saw a lot of stuff out of Harry Ballard in this game here. Harry Ballard in this game here. 5 catches for 81 yards and 3 touchdowns. His long was 27. Lowell Patron, he went for 64 yards on 5 catches. And then El Burgess, he had 10 yards on 1 catch. And Andre Williams, 6 yards on 1 catch in this game here. So good stuff there all the way around. Looking over on the defensive side for him, leading tackler in this game here was Ramon Morris in this one. 6 solo tackles in this game here. 7.5 total for him there on that one. Jordan Jones, 7.5 total. He had 5 solo tackles and 5 assists in this one here. Quarren Bolden and looks a couple guys with tackles for losses in this game here. Katrin Allen, he had a tackle for a loss there. Kareem Golden and Shima Dunga all had tackles for losses in this game here. So good stuff there. Coming out of the Green Bay Blizzard over the weekend here, got a big win. And, I mean, Green Bay Blizzard playing very well on this young season. 5-2. They are 5-2 in conference play right now. 1-1 in a row now. 4-1 at home so far. 1-1 on the road. They've been playing some good football. Looking at their next matchup, they're going to have the Frisco Fighters coming up over this next weekend here. And this is a solid ball club there in Frisco, so can't take them lightly. That game will be in Green Bay for that matchup there against the Frisco Fighters. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we once again see a big win out of the Green Bay Blizzard. But Frisco, they are the number 1 team in the conference play right now, 6-1 overall on this season here. They've had some pretty good wins. I mean, looking at the schedule here, they beat Tulsa, like we were just talking about there at Green Bay. They beat Tulsa 31-25 to open it. They beat Quad City. They got the Tulsa Oilers. again beat them 60-20 or 32, and then they did lose that one to the San Antonio Gunslingers, but that was a gunslinger matchup there. That was 54-52 there. And then the next night, 62-57. So a lot of high-scoring affairs with the Frisco Fighters there. So hopefully we see another Green Bay Blizzard win coming up this next weekend here. But with that, that's about all I got for today. We talked about a lot. We had a lot to talk about. A lot with the Brewers, right? The Brewers are heating up right now. We got to be all about the Brew Crew right now. It's always great when the Redbirds are falling, right? It's always great when you can beat up on the Redbirds, especially when they're down. You got to keep them down, right? Don't let them come back through that rear view mirror. But with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. But until I talk to you guys again tomorrow, deuces.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river I have held the devil's hand, felt the weight of my own sin, burdened by the heart of man. Down to the river, down to the river.